So we're on Stockport Island here. These are all, I believe these are sparrows, and there's all these sparrow nests, and there's a huge cloud of sparrows flying around. We've kind of just gotten closer, so they're all flying away. Look at all these sparrow nests built up on the side of this cliff. Oh, there goes one flying out. I don't want to disturb them, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of babies up in there. But I don't want to bother them. Pretty wild here. This is Stockport Island that we're on right now. We kayaked out here. Our kayaks are over there, hopefully not floating away because the tide is changing. This is about 130 miles up the Hudson. A little bit below this is Gaze Point Island, and that one is actually better, a lot sandier, and a lot more people go there. But this is closer to Stockport Creek, so we just kayaked out to this one. And it's a beautiful day. You can kind of see the sandbar down that way. But yeah, it's nice out here. July 10th, 2020. See you later. All right, it's July 11th. We are on Stockport Island. And if we look off to the left here, so this is the Hudson off to our right. We are about 140 miles north of New York City in this spot right about here. And if we look off to the left, this little low-slung bridge over here is at the end of Stockport Creek. And if you take a look, like there's a white van, and then off to the left is a running silver truck. But right about in the middle over there is my truck. And so we parked over there by the boat launch and then put the kayaks in and came out under the bridge and came out here probably about a half mile, maybe a quarter of a mile. And so this is Stockport Island that we're on now. The next island down is like the more popular one is Gaze Point Island. And this is all part of the Islands of the Hudson campground system, which used to be a state-run campground, but now it's just like a first-come, first-served thing. And pretty wild. We had a wild turkey walking with us on the beach a few minutes ago, and we ran into a couple that were out here on their kayaks, and they had their puppy with them. It was really nice talking and chasing us around. And man, it's just so beautiful out here. It's just like being on the ocean, or and this is Stockport Creek is 15 minutes south of Albany. Now that creek is a really good place to go and do some kayaking. There's little side channels you can go up in and kind of track through, and that's a great place to really learn how to kayak. And then you can go up the creek a couple miles. There's waterfalls. There's really clean water coming out of that creek, and so you can see all the rock on the bottom. It's a good place to fish and good place to kayak. And then if you're feeling a little adventuresome, you can just come out here and take a little quick quarter-mile crossing, and this is Stockport Island. And then, like I said, the next one down is Gaze Point, and these are the islands of the Hudson. So we've been working like every single day nonstop. We just decided to go out and have a real adventure day and go on a little adventure out here. We got our little 8-foot kayaks. And so these are just entry-level, most basic kayaks you can buy. And we throw our little fold-up chairs in them and grab a thing with a couple bottles of water and a couple paddles and just come out. And very few people out here, very relaxing. Very nice little adventure. So July 11th, 2020. Across the way, there's like a really cool lighthouse right over there. And out at the islands of the Hudson, just south of Albany. See ya. All right, so it's July 11th here. We're out on Stockport Island. I just wanted to shoot a quick video here. This is one of the sites that's out at Stockport Island. Now, people have kind of put a little more time into setting all this stuff up. I'd imagine these people probably come out here quite a bit. Now, Stockport Island, that's how these sites tend to be. There's about 8 of these sites, and they're first come, first serve. The sites tend to be pretty large and be basically like a camp setup. But I would imagine a couple of these sites, like this one, these people probably come out here quite a bit. I did see one time there was like an issue where a guy came and put his stuff on a site and then left in a boat to pick some people up. And it was kind of messed up. Somebody else that was there took his stuff and threw it in the woods because they didn't like the guy. And then somebody else showed up and set their stuff up, had no idea that the guy's stuff was even there in the first place, had nothing to do with the situation. And then the guy came back and started screaming at the guy that was on the site. I mean, I have seen some things happen. But this is Stockport Island, and this is one of the 8 sites that are here. The next island down is Gaze Point. Now that's a peninsula that sticks out off. This is actually a true island. Gaze Point is a peninsula, but the problem is that the railroad track runs right on the base of the peninsula, so you can't access this from land. This is boat and kayak access only. Kind of cool. They got these little puddles that build up as the tide goes in and out. So it's like 130 miles to the ocean, and there's no locks. So this whole thing is tidal, and these little pools form with these little fish in it, and that water is probably like 90 degrees. So it's pretty neat. You never know what you're gonna see. We had a turkey following us around earlier, and then we get the Sparrow Cliffs. And if we take a look over here, you know, there's our kayaks and chairs, and then over there, that's the boat launch at the end of Stockport Creek, and that's the bridge that the railroad tracks. So you can see how close the railroad bridge is. It's kind of cool. Down behind the island, there's a little bridge that goes, you know, for the railroad, for the train to go over. And when the tide is going out, you go out under the bridge, and then it's kind of a little tough to get back in because it really pulls the current through. So it's kind of fun. I mean, you can get through, but it just takes a little paddling, and you got to fight the current. So this is Stockport Island. Now today is a Friday, and there's 2 other people on this whole island, and we walked around in Gaze Point Peninsula. There's not one other person there. Now those sites are like a lot smaller. It's basically just like a little clear area, and then there's rope swings over on that island to swing, and when it's high tide, they're really good, but when it's low tide, it doesn't work out. So this is like probably quarter tide, and you can see how big the beach is at quarter tide. At high tide, this will all be covered with water. So, and we've also seen people come at high tide and anchor their boats, and then the tide goes out and the boat is literally sitting on the sand. That red speedboat, remember that?
Yeah.
So, you know, and then they just have to wait 10 hours for the tide to come back in and their boat to float again. So this is Stockport Island. This is one of the bigger, larger sites. You know, personally, I wouldn't set my stuff up on it just because these people might show up, and I don't want to deal with that. But there are a lot of sites that are open, and 99.9% of the time it's not an issue and you can get a site, but it's kayak and boat access only. But it's so easy. I mean, this just park over here, launch your kayak, go under the bridge, and you can come right out to these islands. You know, we were at Grafton Beach the other day. It's like there was 300 people there, and they only had one swimming area open, and everyone was crowded into one little swimming hole, and they were whistling at people for trying to go in the water anywhere else on the beach. It was a headache. So, and actually you can see there's somebody kayaking out to the island right there. So, there might be 2 people. Yeah, there's 2 kayaks coming out to these islands right now. So, really, really good kayak location to come if you're anywhere, you know, within an hour of Albany. Great place to bring kayaks. I've tied them to the roof of the Jeep, 2 of them, and that's why I like the smaller kayaks. These are the 8-footers. They're easy to carry, they're easy to move. You know, we don't have any trouble getting around on the water. I mean, I understand a larger kayak would be better on bigger waters, but why have the hassle? And I really want to put a 12-foot kayak on the roof of a Jeep? Not really. But these little 8-footers are no problem. They're pretty easy to throw on there. So we stick with the real basic 8-foot kayaks, and just make a little hole in the front and a little hole in the back so you can really tie them down tight with rope. And now I have the pickup truck, which is really nice. That truck, I could actually, if I wanted to, I can use my 4Packs app on this phone and start that truck from out here on the island. It'd be nice and cool when I get it. I probably won't do that, but also set a timer for it to start. So it's pretty neat. What was I going to say? What was the other thing? Oh yeah, it was kind of neat. I just locked my keys and my cards, and I locked all that stuff in the car because you can lock and unlock the truck with the phone. And then just use this little phone case here, keep my money and phone in. So that's the only thing I got to worry about. And now we're back to our little spot here. We didn't even use the chairs. We were laying out on towels. You know, and then you just take the towels and put them on the seat of your kayak to make it more comfortable when you're on the ride out. But yeah, this is it. It's the end of Stockport Creek, and that is the Hudson River. Oh wow, looks like there's more kayakers coming from over there. At the end of the Stockport Creek, it's pretty easy to find this boat launch here. You can see there's my truck over there. And pretty neat spot. If you're into kayaking at all, I would highly recommend checking this out. So apparently the island is, it's really going to the birds here. So this place is going, yeah, that's my line in the head. So there's like 40 geese coming in on the point down by our campsite. And we're just walking around. We came back down here. These sparrows are flying all over the place. We came back down to check them out. So right here we have a sparrow colony. And right here we have a whole herd of Canadian geese moving in. And then behind us, there was a turkey running around. These sparrows are so cool. It's really windy out here, and they're like little tiny birds. They fly so fast. Pretty neat. See ya. Oh man, this place has definitely gone over. So like, there's our campsite over there. None of these were here. Look at this. This is all in the last 10 minutes. Look at them all. This is like Canadian Goose Island. Well, and that turkey and sparrows. You gotta come check this out. Great kayak destination. All right, so just wanted to shoot a really quick thing here. We've been here, what do you think, for 2 hours? We've been here for 2 hours, and we were sitting on the water when we got here. And you can see, here's our kayaks over here, and here's the water way out there. And if you look down here, it's even further, then it goes out. And on the other side of the island, there's spots where it goes out like probably 50 yards. So the tide, as it comes in and out, changes the beach line in some areas a lot. Now down on the other island where a majority of the campsites are, the beach only changes about 20 feet because the water gets deeper faster. But there is a big long sandbar to walk out on, which is pretty cool. So just want to show you the difference in the tide. All right, so it was 3 miles out to the island and then to walk around the island. It's probably mostly walking around on the island that we accrued those miles. So this is the 5-foot bed on this truck. These are the 8-foot kayaks. And I just threw a little trucker's hitch on here. This hole in this kayak was too small, so I just had to open it up a little bit to make some room for a little bit thicker of a rope. If they have water in them, you just pull this little plug out and stand them up and they empty the water out. For this kayak, the hole was big enough. I didn't need it. I didn't have enough rope to do a trucker's hitch, but this is fine. It'll go, it's up to the cleats in the back. But yeah, this is our preference here. We just do these 8-foot kayaks. These are the lighter ones. I think we bought this one at Walmart. We bought that one at Dick's. The Walmart one seems like the Sun Dolphin is like a little bit flimsier than that one, but it actually sits taller. You can see it. So the Sun Dolphin would actually handle some bigger waves, but the Pelican is wider, so it's like more stable. So she likes this one, the Pelican, and this one was a Sun Dolphin. We got this thing up the river on the boat and found brand new. It had a hole in it. So this was the last one in stock, so we couldn't switch it out. I stuffed a piece of rope in there with a bunch of glue on it, filled it up, and it's worked just fine ever since. But yeah, this is our system. We just use these paddles that break in half. We just picked that one up today because we left the other one on the boat. Take a chair out. You use the towels like as a cushion on your seat to make the seat a little better on the ride out. But these little 8-foot kayaks are nice. I've had them on the roof of my Jeep, my little Jeep Patriot, and that worked just fine. You can tie them to the roof of a vehicle, but in the bed of a truck is even better. So that's our system. It was a lot of fun today. Love the truck. Love the truck. Remote satellite started it from under the bridge coming in, so you know, I got it warmed up and unlocked it with the app. So you know, I just locked my keys and everything, all my other valuable stuff in the truck. See ya.